Fuck democracy.
I want to see Antifa members hanging from gallows in Trump ties. That's what I would like to see. Yeah.
We need total dictator Trump. I seriously, and you know, there's no argument against it. Oh, the Constitution says this. It's like the Constitution is invalid.
Yes, the point of Christian nationalism, my goal, is to break American democracy.
Here would be my solution. Elect a dictator, suspend the laws, dismiss the legislature, and the dictator taxes the people and uses the money to build a giant wall and uses the money to raise an army that is personally loyal to him.
People need to be tried, convicted, and executed for treason.
The greatest example of love is to kill those traitors so others learn never to do it.
We need to hold people for treason, start having some public hearings, and start executing people who are found guilty for their treasonous acts against the Constitution of the United States of America, just like they did back in 1776.
There should be military tribunals taking place right now, and people should be arrested for high treason that's been committed at the highest levels of government. Well, personally, I think a firing squad would just be great. Just put them all there, stick them up against a wall, and take them out.
What does a modern-day militia look like? Because if you're like me, you see these godless commies, and you're like, I want to shoot them in the face. But because you're like me, and you're a law-abiding patriot, you're not going to do that because that's illegal. Or is it?
If for any reason the President of the United States feels that it's not getting done the way it should, and decides to put out the tweet that says, my fellow Americans, my fellow 2A-loving Americans, it's time to take up arms against these assholes. You are all fucked in under an hour.
We will then collect the power needed to silence, destroy, and imprison our political opposition.
So this fucking country is so gay. I hate this country. I hate this country. I hate this country.
It doesn't get any clearer than that. And they're not doing this for entertainment value. Even if they were, they have audiences that can't discern between reality and fantasy. It's like a child who doesn't understand that a cartoon isn't real life with a lot of these cosplayers, these weekend warrior weaklings, these cowards, these traitors to our very way of life. They cheered the insurrection, their failed coup attempt. And now they take to their airwaves, convincing an audience that we should jettison democracy, rid ourselves of the vestiges of self-governance, elect, as Nick Fuentes, the white supremacist, white nationalist friend of Marjorie Taylor Greene, as he says, to elect a dictator. This is where we are in America. The battle lines are being drawn. Metaphoric at this point, but if they have their way, they will be literal. That is why, at this point, elections are maybe our last hope of saving this country. Share this video with someone who's on the fence, who doesn't really buy that there are extremists in our midst. Someone who's not fully convinced that we are in the jeopardy that we are. It is important to get everyone to the polls in this midterm election cycle, and maybe more importantly, or at the very least as importantly, in the general election. What do you think about all this? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. Email me, daily@dollemore.com.